Hey everyone, morning,
Hey.
afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, and then we have the beautiful Coach Cece. And today we decided just to come on real quick in regards to our segment of cookies, convo, and cocktails. How did I forget the cocktails? I'm like,
How when you know you got yours right there, just like me.
She's already starting ahead of me. Okay, I thought we was gonna toast, to our premiere.
Oh, of course. Hold on, let me turn the volume down.
Yes.
Can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
With your beautiful background. So, hey, we're just going to toast to this is me in May. And what I mean by that is it's not about just us, me in May, but it's about you in May. Because oftentimes when we talk about May, it's mental health month. That's what we do. This is what we reign and roll in when it comes to your mental health, your mental well-being. But we want to do it with a twist. We're trying things out and to see what is most impactful for you. That's going to have you to continue to keep checking us out because this would not be possible without you. So we want to say thank you. So cheers to you.
Cheers. Ting. Virtual ting, right?
I say cheers to you because you're making this possible. You could be on any live, but you decided to tune in and be with us. So thank you so much. And what we want to talk about is we're just doing something that's bold and audacious. We're setting the example that in hopes you can do the same. Talk about your wins. Talk about your successes.
Yes.
Honestly, now being a licensed clinical psychotherapist for, I know I don't look it, for nearly 3, I put up 6, 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, because I guess the cocktail's already kicking in. 3 decades in this game when it comes to your mental health.
Yes.
And when we think of mental health, I'm not going to be honest. It seems like Coach CC, it brings down some type of vibration. It's like, oh, I think of depression. I think of anxiety. I think of uncertainty. I think of not so good moments that impacted my mental health, stress, overload, you name it. And our position is to help you overcome, to be resilient, to know how to get through and to thrive and to strive through any type of mental anguish so that you can be more, mentally, holistically healthy and whole. And we wanted to do something different. We just decided to make it fun. Let's talk about your mental health in regards to your successes, your wins, because certainly, because this is May at the time of this recording, there's going to be plenty of people, plenty of my peers, plenty of Coach CC's peers who are looking to help you along the way with your mental health. So kudos to them because it is very important to know how to overcome those particular obstacles. We want to add and contribute in regards to what's going to help you to keep your energy up, your vibrations up, instead of focusing on the depression, the anxiety, what your mama said, what your daddy didn't do. We want to just celebrate you during this time of cookies, cocktails, and combos. What do you say, Coach CC?
Absolutely. I agree with you. We don't talk about the good things enough. We always seem to harp on the bad things. It kind of reminds me of the church folk, right? Where you only pray when you need the Lord, right? Something's going wrong. You got a flat tire. Your marriage is in shambles. You're not feeling well or something. You want to call on the name of the Lord. But just as I would tell someone, a believer or someone calling on the name of the Lord, like call on him when things are going well, right? When the sun is shining, when, your bank account is fat and all those wonderful things. And so that's what we're going to talk about briefly here in this segment about the good things that happen in regards to mental health, because like Dr. Sarah Renee said, when we think of mental health, it's this weightiness on it. It's kind of like heavy, like, depression, anxiety, etc. But mental health is also the opposite side, right? So everything in life has balance, right? So you have the yin and your yang, you have your left and your right. And so we're going to talk about the right side, right? That's the good side. We're going to talk about the things that you do to feel elated, to feel excited, to be jubilant. We're going to talk about those things because that's just as important when we talk about mental health as the opposite side as well. So I'm excited. And, we're going to have some fun. We're going to, sip on a cocktail and take a couple of bites of a cookie. And, we're going to do what we do best. Isn't that right, Dr. Sarah?
That's absolutely right, Coach CC. We got to be mindful of what we say because Bishop Ed Smith is watching us. So look, Bishop, we're being angels here. Okay. Do you not see the dove behind Coach CC, with the life as you? Listen, we want to make sure that we're having fun when we're talking about our mental well-being, our state of being, because honestly, it always starts with how you're thinking. The way that you think determines how you behave. And I think that we should have fun. It should not always be, oh, let's talk about mental health. And then that's when you start to, which is understandable. You start thinking of things that's going to bring your energy down. We're here to help you boost up. And you also, in your learning throughout this month about how to be mentally stable and whole and complete and sound throughout the whole month, because there are plenty of people who are going to talk about mental health, self-care, all that great stuff. Right. We just want to add and contribute to it with a twist where, hey, we're getting loose. We're having fun with our cookies and cocktails and conversations. So I hope, Bishop, it's okay for us to, take some wine. This may not be communion, but hey, it's going to have fun. And before we start having our fun and talking about our mental health and well-being and all that good stuff, because this is about you in May, me in May.
Yes.
What do you think about Coach CC's outfit ensemble? All the kisses that she had going on with her beautiful shirt.
Because I love you all, and I just want to give you all kisses and hugs in a platonic way, right? Yes, I mean, I think it's speaking of that, I've grown into being authentically me and not really thinking about too much what other people think about me, right? It's about what I think about me, and I think that has a lot to do with a positive mental health stance, right? And so someone may say, well, that's not appropriate. That's 20 years too young for her, or whatever. I don't care. So when I have that I don't care mentality, don't get me wrong, I just extremely care about people. I wouldn't do the work that I do as a coach and a counselor and a mentor, if I didn't truly care about people. But what I'm saying is, if it's a negative response towards me, an opinion that I didn't ask for, or just, something that's not vibrating on my level, then that's your reality, right? I don't take it personally. And so that's one of the agreements. I'm coming into agreement with myself and how I feel, not with how you may feel about me, and that's what it is. Of course, I'm taking heed to what people say. I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying to learn some things. But if it's going to jolt my self-esteem to more of a negative point than a positive point, then I really don't have space for that. So the kisses and the lips are for you all, because I love you all.
I love how she talked her way through that. I love it. And you know what, just to piggyback on that, first of all, everybody, please let us know what kind of content do you want in this conversation, and not just for this conversation. We're looking at doing it every Wednesday, where there will be Coach CC, there'll be other people that we can, I want to have this curated experience for you so that you can take from different collectives, different perspectives, and you will do something called taking the meat and spit out the bones. What does that mean? It just means that you take in what resonates for you and you discard for what does not. But keep in mind though, what you may find that you are discarding, you may need it later on down the line. So just take heed in what we're sharing with you, because we want to make sure that you win. We Absolutely. Win when we see you win. And that's exactly why we're in the field that we're in, with coaching, with counseling, with consulting. And that's why we're making this time for you, because we want this to be all about you. And please share in the comment section. Hey, Trina, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Y'all share in the comment section as far as like, what are your successes? What are your wins? And also wanting to know, what is it that you would like for us to talk about in this month of May at the time of this recording? We want to make sure, again, that your mental health is sound and sane, is secure, but also with having fun, with having ease and flow. So here, we're going to give you a couple of tips. Before we start giving you a couple of tips on how you can start your May off right so that you can be mentally secure, mentally sane, mentally sound, just want to ask you, Coach CC, real quick, and y'all can talk back to us as well. What has been going on in the news? Because we also, in our time of cookies, convos, and cocktails, we just like to talk about and give commentary on all that's going on in this world. So much material to work with. And so, hey, and we can do this like in 30 seconds or less. So let's talk about it. I wish I had something to use. But while we get that together, please put in the comment section. First of all, thank you for being here. And also, what are your successes? What are your wins? What would you like for us to talk about in this month to help you further along in your mental stability, in your mental well-being, and you being just sound and happy with your holistic mental health? Let's talk about all that has happened. Just get caught up. Well, 30 seconds or less, Coach CC. You ready?
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about DMX.
Lord, yeah, hold up. We got toasted DMX.
Okay.
Love
Why are we
you.
toasting to him? Why are we toasting to him?
Lord, give me a sign, right? So the Lord gave him us for the short amount of time that he did, and he was phenomenal, impactful. He had a lot to say. He changed the game tremendously. He helped a lot of us get through some things. He was bold and boastful, and allow us to speak up. I just remember rocking to him like, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. I mean, everything he was talking about, I was feeling it up in here, up in here. And so hats off to my man. We love you always.
Awesome. You did that in 30 seconds. Wow. I already know you did that in 30 seconds. You know what was interesting? Because when I was caring for my mother, and she was in the hospital quite often, and no disrespect, no shade to the doctors and nurses, because there were plenty who have been helpful during the time that my mom was in the hospital. There was a couple of them though that was making me lose my mind, or they wanted me to lose my mind over my mommy up in here, up in here, up in there,
right.
There. And so when I heard that song, I tell you the truth, DMX helped me through a couple of times. So DMX, this is for you.
Yes,
Thank you for your gift. He wanted to be a pastor. And what was most interesting in that is that while he wasn't in the traditional sense as a pastor, pretty much he went outside of those four walls and he related. He became them. Similar to, was it Paul, who was like, and Bishop, you can help us along the way with this one.
Yes.
Unto them, he became as them. And I'm not trying to add or take away from what the Bible says, but pretty much he met the people where they were. Absolutely. And I read all these comments about DMX in regards to how he helped them through along the way. And I have to honestly attest, he helped me in some ways as well. So right. DMX, this is to you.
Cheers.
What do y'all think? Y'all can put in the comment section. How did DMX help you? All right. Next, Tim Scott. Y'all can put y'all comments as well.
So a little birdie told me that a comment was made that there's no such thing as racism
happening
here in America. I mean, that that says should say it all. Like, what parallel world is he in? Because it's not in the world as we see it right now, but it has been happening. It continues to happen. And unfortunately, I don't believe that it will stop happening because of the very foundation in which this land was built upon. You can't make a statement so strong as that for the people. People see they have their own perspectives, they have their own world views, and so maybe for him, Mr. Black man, is not racism to him here in America, but to many of us, it truly is alive and unwell.
Very well. You hitting those 30 seconds or less. How about you all in regards to your point? What did you think about Tim Scott and his point of saying that there pretty much isn't racism happening? And I totally attest to what you said, Coach CC, that perhaps for him, okay, but you cannot put that same perspective on everyone else and say that there is no such thing. Yes, we are striving to erase racism, right? And that is where we are. It is a matter of being able to join together and not lie, because it's almost like, I remember when I was in, and I'm sorry if I don't get the 30 seconds or less here. I gotta follow after Coach CC. She's really good at getting to the point.
Do you, boo?
I remember being in 6th grade. So this is a shout out to my man, my teacher, my sixth grade teacher, who turned into being a principal, but then also became a great friend, Mr. Paris. So everybody out there, TM Pierce, you know, to all my TM Piercers out there, y'all know who I'm talking about when I say Mr. Paris. And I remember he was teaching us in sixth grade about history, his story, and never forget it, never forgot it. And it was like, wow, this is his story, but is this our story? And how they're now years and years and years and years later want to erase a lot of things, or just want to not reinvent, but reconstruct. That's not the word I'm looking for, in regards to what's been going on. I heard that this was happening in Texas in terms of wanting to say what certain things have happened during the Obama years, you know, what things did not happen, what things did happen. And it is interesting. So no, it is the fact that stuff have happened. Let's not act like it did not, but we don't have to keep reliving it either by keeping hold of it, but just to acknowledge that it has happened, and what are we going to do differently to get different results. I'm done with my 3-minute commentary on that one. Oh my gosh.
That's okay.
And so let's go into our 3 points in regards to how do you help to have a successful, excellent Me and May month, so that you can thrive, not just survive, and not just really strive, but really thrive in your mental, holistic self. The first thing that I would come up with, or the first point would be, and I'm going to piggyback again off of Coach Cece, because she's amazing, and y'all need to make sure that y'all are following her. So she's going to share with you how to follow her, what she has going on in this month, her May and Mayhem, but she'll be able to share more about that. But if you're finding value in what we're sharing, please comment, share, tag, do what you need to do to make sure that the information gets out there, because we're interested in your success and your mental, holistic well-being. So the first point is similar to what Coach Cece said. For you to have a great mental well-being in May, making this me about, you know, me and May, is to pretty much make sure that you don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's end. Do not compare to the point that now you regard someone else's opinion higher than your own about yourself. Because all that do is bring doom and gloom to your mindset. And then you're always striving after someone else's way of living, way of life that may not be the best anyway. And even if it is, it may be the best for them, but that does not mean it's the best for you. Please stop comparing yourself, your beginning, to someone's middle and their end.
Amen. Right. Amen. Pass the collection plate. Ching, ching. Oh, no, we don't want ching ching. We want silence, because these bills, dollars and hundreds.
Bishop, that just means she's not making it rain. She just.
In the collection plate, does that mean anything?
I don't know. We pass the collection plate like that though.
We should.
Too much wine.
That's funny. But yes, absolutely. You know, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, marvelous are his works. I had to follow up with that after that one.
No, you don't. Come on with the second thing.
Did I save myself?
You're good, girl. We got you. It's all good. We're being us, like you said, we've been unapologetically and authentically ourselves. So
yes,
please.
That part. And so therefore, we are ourselves, right? We are individuals. We have a specific blueprint that only belongs to us. So why in the world will you look at someone's beginning, middle, or end and compare yourself? You know, the blueprint that was instructed for you does not entail all the details that theirs have, vice versa, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not a multi-billion-dollar house. I mean, don't we have many of those types of houses on the street? And they're not exactly the same. And even if they were constructed the same, guess what? The insides are different, right? The people inside are different. So there's a lot of differences and a lot of things to be celebrated by being uniquely you. And so we definitely have to get into that mindset of just being comfortable with who we are in our shoes. I actually saw a post today, I believe, and I loved it. And it talked about popcorn. Like, so you put these kernels of corn into a pot, same oil, heat is distributed. But guess what? They all don't pop at the same time, right? It's pop, 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 like different, right? And so you may believe that you haven't popped yet, and maybe you have, or maybe you haven't, but that's okay, because you're gonna pop. I mean, don't worry, boo. You know what I mean? So, I mean, look at it like this: somebody who popped first, they less hotter than you are when you pop last, okay? Because you know, and sometimes it takes a little bit more fire than others, or a little bit more heat, you know, but it's still just as beautiful and fluffy as the next popcorn. So I hope that clears it up, and I just love that analogy. And so yes, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are His works, and so just let that sit right there.
That's excellent. Good point. Look, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We're doing cookies, cocktails, and conversations with Coach Cece and myself, Dr. Sarah Renee. We want you to win in May. So we're making this about you, me in May. So May is Mental Health Month during the time of this recording. And all we're doing is now lending and contributing, you know, with our expertise and skill in this type of arena with mental health, with counseling, with coaching and consulting, and making sure that instead of it's all about doing things differently to get different results. And so we're just giving 3 tips real quick in regards to how to help you to strive and to thrive during this month and beyond, with the key tips in helping you to be mentally sound, sane, and secure. And so we talked about, you know, not comparing yourself. And now we're also going to talk about, hey, you know what? Celebrate yourself. A lot of times we're looking for, which is the second point, we're always looking for people to celebrate us, to appreciate us, to say, job well done. But when they don't do it, now we take that in. Sometimes we may take it personally without us realizing, because you may not acknowledge it verbally that you were offended or you felt some type of way about that. But in your psyche, that's a different story. And the more that you keep having that situation in your mind, you're now attracting more of the same. Because, you know, they say that opposites attract, because the bishop is here. No, I was going to use some colorful words, but I had to stop. I had to put hold on my wine during communion. No, like attracts like. Always remember that, please, everyone. Right. Attracts like. So with that said, depending on how you think, that determines how you behave, but it also determines what you are attracting into your life. So that said, please celebrate yourself first. Set the example for others to follow. If no one is celebrating you and, you know, giving you a party, give yourself your daggone own party. Look at your wins, look at your successes, albeit great or small, there's still a win. And that is helping to train your mindset for more of the same. You'll start to attract more of that versus looking for everybody else to celebrate you when they don't. And then now you're actually doing what you don't want to happen, which is now feeling down, your mental health is waning, you're attracting more people not celebrating you. So just to turn it around, and first and foremost, celebrate yourself. 30 seconds or less, Coach CC.
Absolutely. So celebrate yourself. I'm just going to piggyback off of the attraction piece, right? And so I totally 100% agree that like attracts likes, right? And so if you're not celebrating yourself, then you're going to get more of that and people not celebrating you, right? I mean, it's just as simple as that. So have you ever seen, if you look at some of the most popular people or the celebrities, a lot of them talk about themselves in high regards, right? You know, so we might, you know, throw out that term narcissistic in the wrong way. You know, it could just be, it's a high self-esteem, right? You just have to be comfortable with who you are and love you completely. And so that means knowing yourself completely and knowing and loving the good and the bad, right? So I get it wrong every day, right? I am not perfect, and I appreciate that, and I can celebrate that, and that's okay, right? Because that means that there's some things that I can work on, and that makes life interesting. I love to learn. Learning is fun. You should do it every day, right? And so that means that there's some more to learn, and that's okay, and I'm going to celebrate that. But I'm my biggest fan. Like every day I wake up and I make myself laugh. I think I'm the funniest person that I know. I'll be like, I'm so cute, like stop playing, you know. And so guess what happens? When I start feeling more confident about myself, and loving myself, next thing you know, I get the looks from everybody, or just, I could walk into the store and then the older lady could say, you just have this amazing glow. And, because I'm exuding that positive energy, and now I'm attracting with my vibrations like things. So like definitely attracts likes, the law of attraction. Look it up. It works. So for me, May is me in May, but it's also personally manifest May for me. So I'm manifesting all in May. And so in order for me to manifest, I got to operate in that attraction mode. So I'm so glad that this was point number 2 on our 3-point list. So back to you.
That is awesome. Everyone, thank you so much for your time and tuning in. You can leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think about the points that we're making in regards to how do we make this about you? We just want to celebrate you. That's why we have our cocktails. We give you toast here and there. I was looking at myself earlier and how I'm drinking. It's like I'm covering my whole face, like I'm just like taking it in, in to the head. Now that's a funny thing. I would talk about that, but we don't have time about how I actually started my first drink. But we're not going to talk about that.
Really?
So did you see Coach CC's response to that? I wonder if she knows what I'm talking about. But that'll be a conversation for this time. However, to end this conversation on cookies, convos, and cocktails with Coach CC and myself, Dr. Sarah Renee, and with you during this Me in May, meaning you in May, we want to make sure that you win. We win when we see you win. When you are winning, when you are striving, thriving in your mental, holistic, well-being self, when you are doing excellently in your business, at home, with your relationship, with your job, with your career, with your money, with whatever goals and desires that you have, our position and our heart's cry, our passion is to see you win. And this is exactly why we're taking the time. And we also thank you for yours, because this is your greatest asset, your time. And thank you for sharing that with us. If you find value with the cookies, convos, and cocktails with Coach CC and Dr. Sarah Renee, please make sure that you tag, like, share. Sharing is caring. You never know, you may save a life, and help them to transform theirs. That could be your contribution right there. Right. So to wrap this up, we had talked about, not comparing yourself, for you to strive in your May, manifestation May, me in May, whatever you want to call it. You can put in the comment section too. What do you want to call your May? At the time of this recording, because it's not just about May, but it's about beyond. But they typically say, whoever they are, that it takes about 21 to 28 days for you to actually create a habit. And it takes about 90 days to create a lifestyle. Right. So it is about doing things differently to get different results. It is not about you doing the same thing and expecting a different result, because that is insanity. And we don't work with insane folks. Yes or yes?
Yes.
All right. So countdown, we said number 3 was, hey, don't compare yourself to other people. Stop looking at from the left to the right, comparing yourself, your beginning to someone's middle and end. Number 2 was celebrating yourself. And now number 1, Coach CC said it, making sure that you love yourself first. No one should be able to outlove you. No one should be able to outlove you. What I have found in the work that I have done for nearly 3 decades is, why do we struggle with our mental health? Why do we struggle with depression, anxiety? And typically it does start at home. See, understand, and this is one more lie that I want to put to rest. We talk about opposite attract. Y'all can debate me on that one. We can go for it, okay? I wanted to be a lawyer back in the day, so I have no problem with debating. Really, because of the fact that we were not born broken. We were not born with lack or limitation. Unfortunately, as children and growing up, we have had it imposed, the imprint in our minds that, oh, something is wrong, or something is missing, or something is lacking. We come in here with childlike faith that there is nothing that we cannot do. And that is the difference between why you see many people striving and many people are not, because it's based on what they're thinking. Because they will either refuse to accept that there's something wrong with them and they cannot get what they desire, or they're like, I'm going to prove that I can. Which category are you? But the most important part that I want to drive home here is it is about you loving yourself. Again, like attracts like. So you're not broken, you're not missing, you're not lacking. You don't have those issues or those hangups. It's just what you tell yourself. It's that story that we continue to keep playing in our minds and making it true. We think that, oh, based on our feeling, we're stating like, okay, well, I feel sick, I feel this, I feel that. And I'm not disputing the reality of it, because we have signs and symptoms. But at times we also say certain things, and honestly, we end up psychologically making it true. So that's why you got to be careful what you say, because words do have life, do they not? Because when your mama and daddy and grandmama has said certain things about you that weren't nice, you ended up believing it. And sadly, you ended up continuing that script. So it brings back to the point of learning how to love yourself. Even if you find that there are things that's not lovable. What Coach CC says, she just said it, paraphrasing, that is pretty much, it is about loving yourself, good, bad, and indifferent. Who determines what's bad about you? Who determines that? Rather, start facing these lies and find something good to say about yourself first. I tell you the truth, the more that you do that and put it to practice, the more that you'll attract more of the same. But hey, self-love is the best love. What do you think about that, Coach CC?
Self-love is the best love, baby. I love it. I love it. I love it. So learning to love yourself. I totally agree with the fact that I believe that, we're born with these blank slates, right? And so it's kind of, to me, if I had to put an analogy to it, like a computer program that was like clean, and then as soon as it's like uploaded into the PC, which is the world, then everything just starts coming in. Download, download, download. So we're talking about the mom, from day one, the dad, the aunties, the uncles, and then they're imposing their beliefs from what they were downloaded with in those programs and those programs. And so we talk about these generational curses. These are the programs, right? And so then we all know, because I have one now, unfortunately, on one of my PCs, you get viruses, right? So you get these viruses that come in, and these pop-ups, and, some stuff that you like, whoa, well, I don't know why that popped up. I ain't been looking that way, or just, get McAfee software. So McAfee could be the counselors, your doctors, right? I mean, and then you got like all types of things that you're inundated with. And so we spend the majority of our lives trying to clean up all of those definitely bad programs and trying to get back to hopefully that blank slate, so that we can then be downloaded with true wholesome things, things that we believe to be truths ourselves, and then what God says. And so we kind of tend to have this battle all of our lives. And so unfortunately, we are adult people who don't really know who we are, right? And so the definition, let me just tell you one of the definitions of knowledge, or to know. It says to be aware of through observation, inquiry, or information. And then the second definition is have developed a relationship with someone through meeting and spending time with them and be familiar or friendly with. So a lot of times, because of the pains of life and things may have happened to you as a child, or all of these programs that I just spoke about are just kind of like put on you, you don't really know yourself, right? You hadn't spent time with that authentic person. You hadn't met them, right? And so through a series of doing the work, like that's what Coach CC is all about, doing the work. You begin to unpeel these layers of the onions, and then you begin to cry, a lot of the times, because you're realizing, hey, I don't really know me. And when I was 20, I was like, oh, I love me. But now you're 40 and you're like, I don't even know who that was. But now you're at a space where you're like, I love me because I know me. Hello. Hi, little 5-year-old. Hi, little 15-year-old, right? Hi, 25-year-old. Right? And you get to meet them. Now you get to know who they are. And therefore, even at, in your later years, and it doesn't have to take you to 40, because I can, Coach CC, as well as Dr. Sarah Renee, can teach you at 20, 15, if you want, how to manifest your true hopes, dreams, and desires, and to be authentically you. So there's no age or time limit on this thing. But unfortunately, a lot of us begin to discover this well, in our, our latter years, in 30s and 40 years old. So it's never too late, because it's always a wonderful thing to fall in love with yourself. It means even more, when you're older, because you're more wise. And so I truly and I definitely agree with learning till you love yourself. And so that's what we're here for. And so if you need, any assistance in that area, just hit us up, and we will definitely be able to help you learn how to truly, truly love yourself. So great points. I love them, all three of them.
So thank you so much, Coach Cece, for that.
Absolutely.
And so please let them know. And again, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this out. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for showing up, because hey, 80%, I think they boosted up now to 90, whoever they are, to 90%. 90% is just showing up of success. So thank you for your time today. Let us know if you're watching this live or catching the replay. But just thank you so much for you being you. And we celebrate. This is our last toast, because I don't think I have anything else left in here. Last toast to you. May, in May month. This is really kicking in.
It's all good.
And all we want to say is, hey, I was about to say we love you. And we win when you win. So we definitely want to see you succeed. So let us know if this was helpful for you. What steps are you applying? Which 3 points do you find that resonated the most, that you were able to take in the meat and spit out the bones? Which ones that did not resonate? But we're interested in what resonated most for you and how you're looking to apply that particular point or points. Yeah. And again, thank you. So Coach Cece, how can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. So Coach Cece, Life, Living in Fervent Excellence. So Life as you can see it in the background. So living in fervent excellence as you. Fervent means to live with passion and with zeal. And so that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for, to help you to learn, to begin to learn to live a life full of passion and in zeal. So you could check me out on Facebook at Cherrea Williams, Cherrea Williams. My website, lifeasyou.org. And Instagram is life.as.you. And I just want to leave you with something that I'm excited about this month, which is Mayhem in May. And so it kind of ties into what I wanted to say a couple of seconds ago, why we could sit here and eat cookies and drink cocktails and had this conversation, because we're entrepreneurs and we're lady bosses. And so that's what Mayhem in May is all about, right? It's about 31 dynamic speakers speaking, giving you business tips as how to be more of an effective boss and entrepreneur. So it's happening every night. You can catch it on my page at 7 p.m. every single day this month. And I'm one of the co-hosts alongside Dr. Casual Pitts and Jonathan McFarland. So check me out, and I'll be waiting to hear from you. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So, hey, if you want to catch me, everyone, you can always message me. You can follow me on Instagram at Ask Dr. Sarah Renee. If you're on Clubhouse, go ahead and follow us there as well. And again, it's Ask Dr. Sarah Renee. Here on Facebook, that's why you're here. So you're already following me here if you are. And again, cheers to you. Cheers to your May, or me in May, your manifestation May, whatever you want to call this May for you. But cheers to you, and we're looking for your success. We're looking to see the comments in regards to how you are going to apply the tips, and look out for us Wednesdays around this time, 1:32-ish Eastern Standard Time. Yes. For us. And yes, thank you so much for just being you. We celebrate you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Happy meeting, May. Have a great one.